Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I tend to have an extremely bad habit of always complaining about our current situation with our culture. So I thought, why not do something different today? Why not bring in something new? So I thought, let's bring in something called story time. Now, a long time ago, I used to end up writing stories and end up having an active imagination on things that had always gone through my mind. Anything imaginative, I would just take it on paper and let my imagination run wild. Sometimes it would end in complete and utter chaos and I wouldn't know what to do with the story, but I thought, why not just bring it here? See what happens. Bring in some chaos. Let's let it ride. So, ladies and gentlemen, the story of today, we're gonna name it from the original name. Keep in mind, I was a kid when I made all these stupid decisions, so the name we're gonna go with is War of Beta. The War of Beta entire thing that I had made came up with 3 main stories and 2 side stories. So let's start off with the main story, and I'll see if I can get back into the 2 side stories if I feel like it, because they're real short. So we take ourselves in the main character, with our main character. His name is John. So our character John, he's straight in high school. He's on his senior year. This is his last year. Really, he's almost done with it. And he wakes up. His parents have been missing for many months. He doesn't understand why. He knows that there are many dangerous things in the world, monsters with different abilities that could kill you in an instant if they catch you. And the difference between these humans and these creatures, of why humans have not been just dominating creatures, is because only a select few of humans have been shown to have the same elemental-like abilities as these creatures. These creatures came in different shapes and forms, have different elements such as fire, water, lightning, earth. There is so many of these creatures and different kind of animals that have these same abilities as well. And humans, being the way they are, yes, they did adapt, they did change, they did use many different things to try to combat these creatures, but the most effective is when they found out that their own people, a very minute few, had abilities that had matched the same power, even some beyond that can combat some of these creatures. Some of these people, smaller than the few of humans who already have these abilities, can change their forms into one of the most powerful creatures that has ever been known to exist on the current planet that we are in this universe. And that would be dragons. Now, the dragons were known to be extremely powerful creatures. Only a dragon could really kill another dragon. Nothing man-made could ever pierce the skin or could ever compete with the claws that a dragon could use. No creature's element could ever compete with a dragon's element when they're at their peak, mind you. The dragons were much like humans, except the dragons lived for an extremely long time. Now, currently, with the humans taking on the forms, being able to shift into this dragon form, they still have the same lifespan as dragons. They're not as powerful as everyone would believe that they are. Keep in mind, once they hit their peak, then it's all crashing and burning from there. So our main character wakes up and he goes through his daily routine. Wakes up, takes a shower, eat, goes to school. His parents have been gone for a very long time, mind you, and he's walking down to school, but he gains the sudden feeling, this eerie feeling, that something is staring at him, watching him through the trees, focusing on his being, making him believe that he's being targeted, that he's being stalked by a predator that is waiting for one mistake. He makes it to school safely, and while this is being the end of a year, he's being conflicted in his mind. Not only with his parents missing, but he is making a decision. Is he going to break up with his girlfriend and or not? Now, this relationship is very important going on down the line. So he decides that, yes, with his current decisions of him wanting to go military, with him wanting to go far away, that he wants to leave her behind so that way she can make her own decisions while he doesn't have to feel the weight of holding him back to this place. He wants to spread his wings and fly and do whatever he needs to do. With his parents still on his mind you, is still making clouded in very rash decisions, but he sticks to these decisions and ends the relationship with his girlfriend. Now, leaving school, and he's walking home, he suddenly feels that the stare is back on him the second he walks out the school door. Keep in mind, he is somewhat depressed. He is somewhat sad due to the fact that he just did break up with his girlfriend. And he's still feeling the motion of that entire decision that he has made. And as he goes later on down the street, he feels the eerie presence of this creature getting closer and closer to him. Now, I'm going to give you some descriptions of our current world so you can understand what it is. It is like current times, but a little bit more futuristic. People are now being able to have, there are there are aircraft carriers that can go into the sky. There are things that are different. You have these different creatures that are just floating around you. Some spirit-like creatures that make you believe that they are spiritual, but in fact, no, these are just regular insects with different abilities such as water, fire, earth, air. They are very alluring. These creatures are very beautiful in a way, and you can be very mystified by them. So as he's walking, he feels this eerie presence slowly gripping closer and closer to him. He pauses for a moment. And in this moment, he sees a woman laying in the grass surrounded by these beautiful creatures. And there's just this odd sensation that flows through him like a fire that is lit under him. And he's getting this strange feeling like something is growing closer and he needs to prepare himself. So he leaves the woman. He knows the woman's fine. The thing is strictly after him. So he goes later on down the street trying to get to his home as quickly as possible. Maybe trying to find a way to defend himself. So as he goes down the street, he feels it. It finally here. The creature has met with him, and he hears it thumping, thumping, thumping. And he turns around, and there it is. This creature, this strange-looking feline abomination that is staring deep into his soul, and it's got this breathing of just raw death all around itself. It's fueling the flames of its rage and fire around it. He runs. He's running as fast as he can. He doesn't understand what this creature is. He's just trying to sprint as quickly as possible, and the creature is on his heels. It is chasing after him. It is clear that he is the prey for this flaming feline, and as the creature keeps closing in on him, he eventually gets cornered. Now, as our hero gets cornered, mind you, he's panicking. He's thinking in his mind, why here? Why now? Everything's going terrible. There's no way of getting out of this. And he reaches out his hands begging for something, anything to possibly get him out of this. And it happens. The feeling, the flaming feeling that he felt when he was staring at the one who was laying there on the grass, it's picking him up. And right when he thinks this is the end, fire bursts from himself and a weapon forms from his hands. It is attached to his hand and he swings it, cutting the creature in the face. The feline is very shocked, it is hurt, and is backed away. But it still thinks that it holds the upper hand and it begins to pounce. And our hero struggles as he's using this weapon to keep it away from him as much as possible. He doesn't want to kill it, he doesn't want to hurt it, but he does want to live. But in this moment, he realizes that he's going to die if he doesn't do something as quickly as possible. So in this brash, unpredictable moment, he turns the weapon on the creature, and the creature falls on him, and it goes through the creature's body. It goes through the chest, killing it. He's drenched in this creature's blood. The flaming feline's flames have now died. It's no longer there. It's no longer flaming. It's no longer having the intensity that it had, and it's slowly dying out. It's very sad to see. The man, he stands up and he does feel sorry for the creature that he had to do what he had to do to survive. And then he hears footsteps. He turns around and there she is, the woman who he was staring at earlier. He's looking at her and she's looking at the creature and then to him covered in blood, and the creature stabbed through the chest. What she does is she takes the boy's hand and speaks to him very, very bluntly. You do what you must do to survive in this world. You are one of us. Welcome to our organization. And the boy is confused. He's lost. He understands that yes, he did have the abilities of those very few people who protects the world, but he didn't believe that it was from him. And she speaks to him. John, I know who you are. Please come with me. And he's still very confused of everything what it is, but he understands that this woman is very special, that she knows his name, and it's best that since he just killed this creature, she's already covered in blood, he should go with her. Now we are going to leave this part right here alone because this is all the time I have for the current gameplay. So we are going to leave this here. If you like what you heard, hit the like button. I'm going to continue doing this thing so that way we have something different to talk about instead of just same old. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and until then, ladies and gentlemen, peace.